What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. So right now we have Ripple on a run right now, and I say this because it's one of the top cryptocurrencies in the space right now, and it's back. It appears to be back on the run. And let's just take a look at the last 24 hours, and you can see it's just now starting to surge. We don't know where this is going to go, but it's big news for Ripple. Ripple was once pegged at 25 cents back around what? Let's see where Ripple was 1 month ago. It was sitting flat here for just the longest time, man. Ripple was just such a flat cryptocurrency to hold, and then it just took off, and now it just continues to take off. And some of that interesting news that's driving it is the innovation in the payment system infrastructure for Ripple, how they're using the blockchain, RippleNet to deliver basically cryptocurrency, connect cryptocurrency and banks, okay? So it's a pretty big deal. We've got big news coming in here. Central banks and financial market infrastructures, key stakeholders in the global payment system, have ramped up their engagement with technology providers to explore how they can leverage DLT. The Monetary Authority of Singapore is front and center in this space, announcing the second phase of their project, UBIN, at their FinTech event in November 2017. Additionally, the Australian Stock Exchange has capped off 2 years of experimentation to declare the adoption of DLT to explore their legacy CHESS securities clearing and settlement platform. So what's Ripple doing here? So what's the role with Ripple, right? At Ripple, we're focusing on engaging with commercial banks to implement production-grade enterprise systems using DLT to support cross-border payments. In fact, we recently celebrated a significant milestone. Now, if you guys have ever tried to send international payments, you know it's difficult. You have to have, I want to say IBAN numbers. You want to have you got to get addresses and all this different stuff, and it's all got to line up, and the bank's got to accept it, and then it's got to process for 3 to 4 days. So it's just a real pain in the butt. And so if we can get this international payment thing down for the global community that we live in, and RippleNet can deliver that in an expeditious way, that's a great utility. And Ripple is really primed. I mean, if this thing gets added to Coinbase, you're gonna wish that all the time you were impatient. Look how long you had to be patient with Ripple here. I mean, you had to be patient with Ripple for a long time, guys. And this is when it was, before it was below a penny. You could have got a ton of Ripple. You could have stocked up on Ripple. And that's what's really interesting about some of these other coins like Redcoin and Verge. When we picked it up below a penny, could it be the next Ripple type run if we just are patient with it? That's why people are saying, oh, should I sell? What if you were sitting on 45,000 of these at $1? What if you were sitting on 100,000 of these at $1? See, and you got them all. How much would it have cost to get 100,000 of these at under a penny? Yeah, you guys catching what I'm saying? So sure, Ripple is in a great position. I'm not saying that any of these can catch up to Ripple, but what if there's other cryptocurrencies that were trading under a penny, like Verge when we got in, or Redcoin, or one of these other cryptocurrencies that end up kind of having a Verge type run, so RippleNet is Ripple's really like light years ahead of where these other coins are, but that's not to say that where these coins are now and where they could be in the next year couldn't change. I mean, all it takes is one of these coins, these micro payment solutions to get in there and take the lead. But right now, obviously, Ripple is the industry leader. So some of you might be asking, well, is it too late to get into Ripple? Well, what if it gets added to Coinbase? Let's take a look at this. Let's just take a look at a possible outcome. All right, so you have a $36 billion market cap, right? You have a $286 billion market cap for Bitcoin. It's been as high as $300 billion. So let's say that Ripple were to reach $300 billion. So in order to get there, you'd have to see about this price grow by about 9 times. So about 10 times gains. It's about 9 times gains. So 9 times gains, 8 to 9 times gains to get to a market cap of $300 billion. Obviously, by that time, you'd probably anticipate Bitcoin to be around probably approaching $1 trillion, and that'll probably happen sometime 2018 or 2019. Now, with that outcome, you would be looking at a potentially a $9 to $10 ripple. And just imagine, guys, to all you out there who got into Ripple back in May of 2016 or February of 2017, look at that. You could have got, I would like to think you got a 500,000 of these, and then when it goes up to $10, good on you. So, I mean, you can do the math. You have 500,000 of these, you got them under a penny. I don't know how much that would have cost, but it might have cost you less than $1,000 to get massive gains if it goes up to $10. And that, all it would take is something as simple as getting added to Gemini or Coinbase or something along those lines to see that happen. Now, this is all theory. This is hypotheticals. This is not, there's nothing to indicate to me that this is a definitive answer, but I'm saying if it were to happen, that would be what you're looking at. And Ripple's price rising right now could be really amazing. But it's just funny to see how for so long it was so flat, you know? So it just shows you don't get too bored with your cryptocurrency just because it's not performing. Because now, you know, if you're patient, good things come to those who wait. Remember that was the mantra that we were talking about? And just hold, you know, just hold it, ride it out. Like, don't get overly excited, you know, hold it out. It's like if you bought Bitcoin back in 2013 or even 2011, I mean, if you bought Bitcoin back in 2011 and you still hold a large chunk of Bitcoin and you didn't sell yet, I mean, you could be potentially approaching a billionaire status. So that's why getting into some of these cryptocurrencies when they're going under the radar and then just holding. So does that kind of put into perspective the whole, all right, this day trading thing is cute and cool, but the real money's in the investing for the long term, the hold. So that's kind of what the picture that we're painting, and Ripple's a prime example here lately of what happens when you don't get too impatient with your positions. That's why I'm saying, like, sometimes you take out a position and just hold. You don't just get all excited when it goes up 15 times gains necessarily. You could sell a portion of that, but always hold on to a large portion if you can. So sometimes finding the next ripple. So how do we know where the next ripple is? How do we know what the next big tech is? And I mean, like I showed you the other day, I mean, sometimes it's coming in here to the recently added and just periodically checking in here. Like, what's this? What's this right here? Simple token. We went over this in the last video. People were talking to me about this. Let's see how many coins there are. Oh, wow. You know, I got to really dig in here and get to know this simple token. This is now the second time this has caught my attention. This time it's catching my attention because it was added 2 days ago. And it's got a high market cap. But I still have to understand it. So I have to take the time to understand it. And it's also on a dip. But look at that circulating supply compared to Ripple. So let's take a look at this over time. Obviously, you can pick it up on Binance. But, you know, it's caught my attention. I still have to dig in and look at it. But obviously, in order to do that, I'm going to have to take a look at the, well, let's take a look at the team real quick. Okay. Cool. Big team here. Wow. Wow. That's a huge team. This is a huge team. This is a huge project. Huge project. So I'm going to take a look at this tech a little bit more. It's hard to understand what it is based on their website. If I was to just say, like, hey, you know, as someone coming to your website, I don't really get it, but I guess I could read here. We're building a network for consumer apps tokenization, get all the benefits of a blockchain infrastructure without the high cost and risk of building everything yourself from scratch about the product. Here we go. So launch your own branded tokens. Okay, so I'm not going to read all this. You guys can come on here and read it. I'm going to come back here and make another video about simple tokens since it's now come up on the radar. This is a video focused on Ripple. You can also come on here and check them out on Twitter. Look at that. You can follow Ripple right here. 326,000. So also, if you're getting on Twitter, you can follow us. Let's see how we're looking today. We're sitting at just under 8,000, so we're growing fast. Good stuff here, guys. thank you for following us to everyone who's been following us. And also, you can follow us on Instagram at Altcoin Buzz. See, so we're growing. We just grew 20 there. So anyways, guys, we will catch up with you next time.